This weekend, let's check in on the Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network because we have had some measurable rainfall today, and you know what? That's the goal. That's all we ask for, right? Something that we can measure, and Fulton so far has done pretty well, about 1/4 of an inch from a lot of our Neighborhood Weather Network stations out here. About 0.26 from Augusta Drive, a little less than that, 0.16 off Cochrane Lane, but this is pretty good because today is not the all-star day for rainfall, so not too bad. We'll take it to another neighborhood, one that also gets a lot of attention when we have rain. Did we get rain around the lake? Yes, Lake Corpus Christi seems to have gotten some rain today, not as promising as what's happened out on the coast in Aransas County, but we are expecting more as we head on into Saturday. Unfortunately, it looks like now not all of our neighborhoods are going to see rainfall. So places like Kingsville, probably also Alice down to Fremont, Hebronville, Falfurrias, not likely to pick up on as much rainfall as some of our more northern neighborhoods. But I think in Corpus Christi, we will see some rain. We actually measured rain at the airport today. Check this out. CCIA, 1 drop in the bucket, 1/100th of an inch. So that makes a little dent in our rainfall deficit, now on the doorstep of 11 inches, 10.93. But we're also going to do something to fix this part of the almanac too. These very warm temperatures that we have just been accustomed to at this point. We'll fix that later on in the 7-day forecast. Lots to talk about, but when it comes to this rainfall, I just want you to know this isn't going to be a one and done. This comes in 1, 2, 3 rounds across the coastal bend, and this is going to be fine-tuned because if the first round is a bit sportier, that means the second round may not be as widespread, and the third round will only affect some of our neighbors. So a lot to get through. You can always check the latest updates, christv.com/weather, for what to expect in your neighborhood. But yeah, tonight expect muggy warm temperatures. Most of us still holding on to temps in those middle to upper 80s and feeling like the 90s area wide. That mugginess, though, is what sets us up for the rainfall. We need water in the atmosphere, and most of it is in our northern neighborhoods. That's why they're going to cash in on the best rainfall totals. So if you're walking the pup tonight, our dog walking forecast star is Charlie. Little pups like that probably struggle with this humidity, so let's make it a shorter walk tonight and plan for some short walks. You'll have to play by the radar tomorrow with the rainfall in the forecast, but tonight we'll hang out around 80 degrees, slowly drop it down into those 70s with breezy conditions. In fact, tomorrow we're likely to see some disrespectful winds around the coastal bend, getting breezy ahead of our cold front. Just a few showers across our northern neighborhoods now, kind of like what we've been seeing throughout the afternoon, but a mess out in West Texas, well ahead of our front, which is sitting pretty right now around the panhandle. That'll get pushed into motion. We're getting help from upstairs in waves. That's why we have 3 rounds of rainfall that we're counting on here. And there is a second cold front well out into the Pacific Northwest we need to talk about, but that's next week's situation. Let's start with the rain first. A lot of very interesting storms out west, some of these severe and dropping a lot of rainfall. When it comes to rainfall, don't expect as much as our neighbors in San Antonio and Houston. All these areas in green under a flood watch throughout the weekend. We don't have to be concerned with flooding unless it's localized. If you live in a neighborhood that tends to flood and you happen to get some heavy rainfall, that might be you. But the first round comes through overnight. You can see our northeastern neighborhoods will get the most of it. But if you're in Bee or Live Oak County, you're likely going to be swept by some of these storms. This first round, I think, has the best potential to maybe be a little sporty, some strong winds. So maybe bring things inside tonight and get ready for that overnight rainfall. This should clear up during the early morning hours. So if you're heading out to the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk, that'll be good. I think we're okay for that. Round 2 picks up during the middle of the afternoon, just a couple of those showers, and then the late night round is likely going to sweep by our northern neighborhoods again. So rainfall totals don't look as promising as they did a couple days ago, but measurable rainfall is the goal. So that's cold front number 1, rainfall this weekend, no cool down, but cold front number 2 will bring fall to the coastal bend, mornings in the 50s.